Hi, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Asha. This is Fnan. Um, we are here to cover Real Housewives of New Jersey season 13, episode 9. Me and Fnan were just talking about this episode, and I said I had a lot of notes, but then Fnan said she has nothing to say about this episode. We'll see how we'll come in the middle. First things first, before we get started, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Follow us on our socials, connect with us there. We both have TikTok, Twitter. We love when you comment and view our videos. So, without any further ado, let's get started. So, episode starts off with all the wives being shown and their families. Really, the first wife that is being shown is Dolores. So Dolores is at Paulie's house. They're talking about his heart surgery. Dolores is talking about the luau, and how Frank was talking about how upset he was that Dolores wasn't staying at his house at the shore house. And she said that she wasn't originally going to stay there anyways because Paulie was supposed to come, but Paulie had his surgery. So it would make Paulie uncomfortable to stay in the same house as Frank or stay at Frank's house. This is where we learn that Paulie also has an ex-wife that he is close with. And they have 2 kids together. But Paulie still recognizes that Dolores and Frank's relationship is not normal. And so after that, Dolores tells Paulie that she and Jen have agreed to talk just about everything, which we stan. And then they run the clips of Dolores versus Jen from this season. There's been a lot of clips. They were only on episode 9. We go to Rachel's and she's getting her daughter ready for school. She says she got a cute backpack with her name on it. She says she's very type A. And has more of a corporate background, and she works a lot, has business. She has a lot of businesses with her husband, but her husband's more of a street smart guy. And then Rachel's all the other brains in the business. And they were kind of going into talking about how she wanted another kid. I just noticed that she had a 4-month-old. I thought it was only the 2-year-old that they had. Okay, she has a 4-month-old. Why does she want another baby? She's weird for that. And then
storyline.
Yeah. She thinks she's Melissa. Come on. And so then she's talking about how the oldest kid, her stepson, doesn't want to have another kid, but also about how he's going to be going to college in a couple years, so he wouldn't really be around the kid. Rachel talks about adopting Jaden, and they talk about Jaden's birth mom and how John just had a really tumultuous relationship with Jaden's birth mom, but Rachel has been raising him since they've been together, and she really wants to be his mother. So that was a note that I had. For going to commercial break, what were your thoughts?
Few things during this scene. What I thought was crazy is Dolores kind of was doing a little bit of defending of Frank when she was with Paulie, which I was just like,
Mm-hmm.
why are you doing that? I was about to adopt you as my daughter, and then now you're clicking down. Why are you defending Frank? But maybe she was defending Frank because Paulie and his ex-wife have also a close relationship. So she was just kind of deflecting, maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna say it's that instead of her defending Frank because Frank is a loser. And then the next part, the only thing I have is Rachel, I think, is kind of rich. They have a lot of businesses.
Yeah, they do.
I guess their wealth is whispering, which is a good sign. If you're not very showy, a lot of the times that means you're pretty wealthy. So yeah. I thought it was interesting that she doesn't speak to the biological mother of Jaden, her husband's child.
Mhm.
So I hope that the mother is okay. Maybe the health wise she's not okay or something like that. I don't know what's going on there. I thought it was, it probably is really bad if the mother does not have full custody because a lot of the time, it in the court of law, the mother pretty much wins the case all of the time. shout out to the father. He's doing a lot of good work. And shout out to Rachel. She seems like a really good mother. And I thought it was cool that she is looking to try to adopt the son. I feel like that type of work is a little extra though. Like, I don't know. Don't you think? Or maybe I'm just, I don't know. It's kind of just like on paper that you're looking for that. Like, but
Well, I think that's what she said too. Like she was like, just to know that I forget, I didn't write it down, but I was like, yeah, just like knowing that she like was able to get that on paper or something like that,
mhm,
um, would be like a victory to her. Or like him like actually like yeah, like it being like actually official.
mhm.
And like also she said too like it would be best for him if his mom wasn't in his life. So like it something must have been really bad. Like
Yeah.
I don't think it's weird that like Rachel doesn't talk to the birth mother if like they don't really deal with her at all. The times that she has talked to her, she said she felt uncomfortable. So it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to talk to anybody that makes me feel uncomfortable. But at the same time, she also said that she was updating her with like how Jaden's doing and like being in school and like his friends and like activities and stuff. So interesting relationship that they have with the birth mother. Okay, so then we go into the next scene. So Jen and Delore are meeting up. Um, they start by, you know, having small talk about Polly, and then they kind of go into their fight. Jen explains her issues that she's like currently having with like Bill and with Marge. This is why I said Dolores also comes back to Jennifer and saying that she also talked a lot of shit about her, and you know like both of what they said like wasn't okay, but then Jen, you know, gets down to really the root cause of why she was upset with Dolores, because she considered Dolores a friend and she felt like Dolores was always defending Marge, which one thing we know about Dolores is like Dolores is loyal, but she sometimes plays both sides. And she was kind of doing that with Marge, and I guess she would like throw in little like things about Marge, like saying like, you know, you like just offending her in front of Jen, and so Jen felt like that was like not cool. But then they agree to have a truce and just like to not talk about it or fight about it anymore. Dolores asks about Bill, and Jill, why am I saying Jill? Jen tells her it's kind of tough for her and the kids, and like they're in therapy. Um, any free time that Bill spends, he spends it in the pool house, which is not cute. Jen feels fed up and she's sick of it, and she just like is like, why would you not spend time with your family, especially given after like everything that happened. They're talking about the fights that they have within the groups, um, with like Danielle and Rachel and Marge and Jen and everything. So then they want to have this coffee ground reading party. I hate the psychic trope on Bravo.
I hate it too.
It's so annoying.
That's so funny. That's my note as well. It's like, get this shit away
I
from
hate it.
us. It's
I
so
hate
demonic.
readings,
It
psychics, like it
it's
is
so
demonic.
demonic to me.
It's sick. Like,
It's
please
like
stop.
I'm saved by Jesus Christ, and like this is so against like everything that I believe in. But
Okay, so what do you think about
oh,
this meetup between Jen and Dolores?
I in that meetup, it really seems like Jennifer and Dolores really actually care deeply for one another. I think that's why they were just able to like move on pretty quickly here in talking to each other. So that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dolores really feels bad for Jennifer about um Bill.
Yeah,
She because she really loves them together. And I think ultimately Dolores is really trying to help Jennifer understand that Bill has a lot of love for her. Like it's not the same situation as like what she had dealt with Frank all those years ago. So I
right.
think she's trying to like help her with some perspective here maybe. That's kind of what I read through that. But yeah, I think those are my thoughts. And I'm again like I feel the same way as you with the the psychic stuff, like just cut it. Like I'm over it. Like
Stop.
stop it.
We've
Um,
had Housewives on for like 20 years now, and that's like one of the tropes they've never like let go of. Like, can we please stop? Like, this is not
yeah.
needed in every franchise. All,
Mm.
and it's just like all the time. Like, they did this a couple of years ago. Like, let's just stop. Just stop.
They do it in every French franchise too. Like I
Yeah, because
remember if
remember, like,
Potomac,
they did it when Dolores was with David, and she's like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna get married to David." And she's like, "Oh," it's like, "Oh yeah, but your dog's gonna die." And she was like, "Oh," and she started
yeah,
crying about that. So like they just do it all the time, and so it makes
yeah,
it feel like it's hard to believe that these people just come out from out of nowhere and already know all this information when like they've been on TV and like it's on the internet and stuff like that.
yeah.
We're
It's
not
so
stupid.
weird. It's really weird, and they do it on every franchise. Like they did it Beverly
Mhm.
Hills, they do it in Potomac, they do it in all of these franchises, and I
They
just
do
feel
it
like
on
we need to
Vanderpump Rules too,
find
and like, can we
a
not?
different thing. Like let's find a different trope.
Activity.
Yeah, let's do that.
We go into the next scene, come back from commercial break. We go to the Gorga's new house. That's like not really built yet. They're building it. It's in the process of being built. Melissa said the house is going to be modern, classy, and sophisticated like her. And all I wrote was Melissa's so fucking lame. Um, they're walking around the house. My note is looks like shit, but that's just me being a hater. And obviously they're building it, so like it'll take some time. And then Melissa is talking to Joe about Danielle's clothing line and how she's gonna have a pop-up for her at Envy. So it goes to Danielle talking about or organizing like the clothes for the pop-up, and FaceTimes Teresa, but she's on an Android. Can we talk about that for a second? How is she FaceTiming?
I think she's using WhatsApp or something like
You're like
that.
Messenger? Okay. Because
But
like
either way, net like more chops. Like she's at 70 now.
you're making it really hard for me to defend you, Danielle, because I am an Apple user. Like that is not okay. But she's FaceTiming her, and Teresa confirms that she has COVID. Um, and then she was kind of talking about all the stuff that happened after Danielle left. And Teresa was talking about the Louis and Melissa and Joe fight or talk that they had, and it was really bad. And Louis came back and he was crying, and there was a scene of that, and I was like, oh my God. He's very close to his sisters, which I can really appreciate because he was actually like really upset that they were fighting. And it's just like, I can be upset for like siblings if they're fighting, but I'll never like cry because I'm so close to my brother.
You just don't cry though. So like that's another thing.
I
Not
cry.
to clock you, but let's be serious. I'm the one that cries. I would cry if Dorian and his sister were not talking to each other. I would be in tears because I love them so much. It's okay. It's the Aquarius in you. We accept it. I don't think you have
Melissa,
any water in your
that's not. I cried last week. I
Okay, but
cried
that's
last
different.
week.
No, no, no. Do you have when I was you didn't even let me finish what I was saying. Hold on. Do you have any water signs in your chart?
Not besides. Well, no. I have Taurus and Leo.
That tells me everything.
Why?
Because water signs, we are emotional beings. Scorpios, Cancers, Pisces. Like all we do is cry.
That's
And
not
you don't
me.
have none of that shit in your chart. That tells me everything. Just
Melissa
got done
tells Joe.
dragging. Just got
Just
done
yeah, you just got
dragging
done
Asha.
dragging. Melissa tells Joe that Louis was crying when they left. Joey Joe thinks it's bullshit. They're talking about Dina, and I guess Dina's husband and Joe are like friendly, which is a shock to me. And they're saying that Dina's husband and Louis got into like a business dealing and it was also shady, and they got into a fight about it, and Dina's not coming to the wedding. Um, Goes back to Teresa and Danielle talking, and Teresa's upset that Louis's being so, or her family, or she feels like her family is just being so mean to Louis, like not accepting him at all. Danielle talks about how she was upset about Rachel going to Marge because she really feels like she's being thrown under the bus. In my point of view, I can see this from Rachel's point of view. Like, she was literally just reporting information. She was not trying to throw you under the bus. And then Danielle talks about how she was being bullied in high school. And so that kind of affects her when she hears people talking about her, or she feels as if people are not being nice to her or whatever. It's definitely a trigger for her, and her brother is definitely a trigger too. And she doesn't like that she talked about, or that they talked about her brother, but also the fact that she left. Like, it was really eating at her that she left because she wanted to drag those bitches, but she left. So that's all that happened. And she said she works hard to not let people affect her, but it still happened. And then Teresa says to not worry about her, and then we go to a commercial break. Okay, so what do you think about that?
Let me start from the beginning before I put my foot on Danielle's neck. Um, okay, first off, Melissa is so nice for doing a pop-up for Danielle. Like, she really didn't have to do that, and I think that that's cute. So I'm gonna give like -7 chops for Melissa. So that means she's on the come up. Barely, but what is another thing? I think it's so funny that Joe also realizes that Danielle always leaves. That was a comment that he said. He said
I
she
know, that
always
was
leaves.
funny. That was funny. That was funny.
I could not stop laughing after that. Yeah, 7 more chops for Danielle for having an android.
She have one of
Ew,
those. That makes me really upset.
ew. And then I think it's also funny that Teresa tried to blame Melissa for the fact that she was achy the day after they had an argument. She blames everything on Melissa, and it's so like crazy and funny to me. I when Melissa downloads Joe of Louis crying, like the way that Joe erupted, like veins popping out, like
He was scary.
he was really like affected by that, and I don't like I feel like he thinks Louis is very fake,
Yeah.
and I you can see it on his body, and the business stuff, like I have no idea who to believe. I don't know if to believe Joe. I don't know if I should believe Louis. Like now, like last week, I was on Teresa and Louis' side, but now this week, hearing about Dave and Dina,
Yeah.
right? Like it's like getting a little like maybe both Joe and Louis are nasty humans. Like I feel like Louis
They probably
is Joe, but more has an awareness of his emotions more than Joe. Can maybe take accountability more than Joe, but I feel like they're kind of the same person. Um, and I'm also okay. My final point here. Sorry, I'm like kind of going on and on and on, but these are my notes. My final point is like I'm really tired of housewives relating stuff to being bullied in high school. Like you guys are 45 years old. It's time to like not use that as your excuse
Let's
for
grow up.
why things are triggering. Like you're 45, 50, even if you're 35, like you're so far removed from that that it's like it's not a valid excuse anymore. You left because you're a loser. Next. And that's all I have to say.
Wow. Okay.
Did I have my foot on her neck or did I have my foot on her neck? I think I have my foot on her neck. Next.
Okay, so
I love how you're
next
not saying
thing,
nothing too.
there's nothing to say to that.
You just were
There's
like,
nothing to say.
I'm gonna let
No,
you
it's
live. I'm
fine.
gonna
You
let
just
you
want
eat
to
her
drag
up.
someone when they're at their lowest point, aka being bullied in high school. So
Oh, but
I
you
I just
agree.
see the type of person you are, Fanon, for that. So we'll
You're
just
45
we'll,
years old griping about high
we'll
school.
move
If you do
forward.
that, you do that. You don't even do that now as I'm not gonna out your age, but you don't even do that now and you're significantly younger than her.
Yeah,
What?
but I wasn't really like crazy bullied in high school. I was People wish they
Oh,
bullied
so
me.
you were the bully. So what? Like what?
I would bully the bullies. Don't you remember me in high school?
I
We went to
remember
high
you
school
in high
together.
school, but I don't remember you being a bully.
I guess you just had to be in my year. You didn't understand, but that's okay. We moved.
Okay.
So we are at Polly's. We get there for the coffee party or whatever. Everyone's arriving. Dolores and Jen are getting along now. Mothers. Um, I hate I hate the psyche trope. Like I said that again. I like Polly's house. I like when houses look like they're not equipped for children. Like no kid can't come in this fucking house. Everything's glass. Everything's sharp. Everything is pointy and everything like that. Like I like his house a lot. I just think it's nice. Like for like a single person, I'm like, damn, like why do you have like 500 wine bottles in your kitchen? Like just like chilling in your kitchen. And yeah, I just think his house is really nice. So I just said that and then they're outside, they get a drink. Jen and Rachel are talking about Marge. Dolores is doing something right. In Melissa's confessional, she was like, Dolores is doing something right because she's got David building a house for her, or not David. Yeah, David building a house for her, Frank building a house for her, and then Paul has this nice ass house. Dolores just, she got that good, good. There you go. That's other Gigi. She got that good, good.
Okay.
Marge, kind of says hi to Jen. I don't know. They look like kind of uncomfortable. Melissa asks why Dolores and Jen have made up because they were like throwing the party together. They said that they were throwing it together because they had made a truce and wanted to invite everybody, but they didn't think that everyone's going to come to Jennifer's house. So like they did it to something more neutral, aka Polly's house. Marge thinks it's BS because she's a bitch. That's all I said. And um the women are talking about Danielle's brother still, and they're asking questions, but then Danielle shows up and Jen kind of defends Danielle like before Danielle like shows up with the girls and just saying like she wouldn't pry if she sees how painful it is for someone to talk about like a situation like this. Like she doesn't automatically go to the like, well, what did you do in this situation and get him to stop talking to you? And that's how she
Mhm.
feels that everyone else is. And everyone else is trying to say it's not like that. And then Marge is trying to be a bitch and being like, you're seeding stuff. Shut up.
Oh my God.
Shut up.
Sorry, my cat just
Hi, Dumo. Hi, Dumo.
sorry to interrupt.
Marge talks about being annoyed with Danielle about like the fact that she left and was Miss Bougie and Huff and Puff. I don't know. Marge kind of annoying. Um, Jen and Dolores gathered everybody to tell them that Teresa asked them to be her bridesmaid. She said it came to her in like a meditating session. We all know it's fucking bullshit. Melissa is seething. That's the note that I had. Like she looks so fucking mad. And then it's like she thinks it's BS. She thinks it's because Dina dropped out because of the whole thing that happened with Dina's husband and Louis. And she's like, it's stupid that she's saying it's a whole meditation thing. Like, you're fucking dumb. All the food looks so good. That was another note that I had because they start eating. Marge and Danielle sit next to each other, and Danielle, like, kind of like breaks the ice by just saying it's a little awkward. And it is awkward. Like, it looks weird. And then everyone else starts to sit down. Dolores asks the girls if they want to go to Ireland, which sounds like so much fun. So they're gonna go to Ireland, and then the coffee cup reader is there, Angie. She starts reading the cups. I don't remember how they like drink it, right? And then they give it to her. I feel like that's
I
how I
have
remember.
no idea. I did not
Yeah,
pay
okay.
attention to that.
I didn't pay attention to that part. We're bad for that. But
Well, I
anyway,
paid
we
attention
got
to
the
what
whole
the, huh?
we got the whole like what everything that the coffee
We
cup
got the,
reader was saying.
yeah, that's what matters. So we're
Okay.
fine.
The coffee cup reader was saying for Dolores first that there's gonna be a ring on her finger, and it's kind of funny because Polly looked like he was like peeking out of like the wine cellar, being like, but like I feel like that could be possible for her because it seems like she really, really likes him and they like each other a lot. Rachel gets her card or her cup read, and it says stuff about being victorious in terms of like what she's currently like going through right now or dealing with, which is like trying to adopt her stepson. Marge has like a confessional where she talks about how she admires Rachel for caring so much about Jaden, like her stepkid, because that's how she felt about her stepkids when she had them. Marge gets her cup read, and it's they're calling out her friend Laura. And then yeah, like it's after that is the commercial break, and then I didn't have too many other notes about like Laura being talked about. Did you have anything to say about that, or like what did you think about like this part?
I'll start from the beginning.
Mhm.
Polly's house, my God, it was so beautiful. And the
Yes.
way that he set it up for that event was gorgeous. And I feel like he was setting it up because he's looking to sell it. Like,
Hmm.
because why all these flowers, nigga? Like, damn.
Yeah.
Um, the food also looked really good. I agree with that. Um, Marge was acting like a loser when she heard that Dolores and Jennifer were making up. Because
That's what
I
I
think
said.
Melissa was the one that asked about that. She's like, "Why do you all doing that?" And Marge was kind of like having like a
God
fit.
forbid, yeah, God forbid people get along.
Yeah,
Like,
and she just is a hater. I thought, what else was I saying here? Jennifer? Okay, yeah. So Jennifer pretty much like you said, Jennifer defends Danielle about the story that she was sharing with everybody. And
mhm.
like I just feel like I think it's okay to have questions because I think that like we also had questions. Like right after she shared that story, we were just like, there's something missing here. No one just like cuts you off out of nowhere, you know?
Right.
And I just feel like Danielle is hiding something and doesn't want to share it with us, and it's annoying.
Well, okay, but
As
I
far
also feel
go
like
ahead.
when people, I mean, not to interrupt you, just like when people were like, we know that you're upset and like heard about this, we just want to know more of the story. She's like, I do too. Like that's the thing. Like, I don't know why he did this. So I feel like there is more to the story, but also like if she's saying that, like she's like, I want to know more too. It really does seem like her brother just like left her, and like there's like no
I
answers.
just don't believe that though. Like, come on. Like, there's, like there might have, you know what? Like maybe there wasn't more to him blocking her or whatever, but there was probably a buildup of stuff, right? Like no one just cuts you off out of nowhere. Like I know I've been cut off once before. I I could take a
Yeah,
look
me
back and be
too.
like, damn, like maybe this put them made them feel some sort of way. Like maybe I want this. You can reflect on the relationship to realize, like, damn, maybe I did something wrong here, or maybe I should have handled this better here. Like, not, I just still don't believe it. I don't believe a woman that owns an Android generally. So, like, I just feel like there is more to it, and she's just withholding from us, and I don't know why. And maybe you're right. Maybe it's just that, but it's very hard to believe.
It's okay.
Oh yeah, the Ireland trip was so cute. Like I love that
Mhm.
they're gonna go to Ireland for Teresa's
Looks like
bachelorette
fun.
party. What was I going to say? Oh, I thought it was interesting that Marge was able to relate with Rachel about wanting to adopt her son. I thought Marge's kids don't fuck with her.
They don't. But I feel like when they did fuck with her and she was being like a mother to them, that's when she said she was like cherishing it the most. Like she said those are the happiest times of her life. So, but Marge also has a son.
Marge is
That's
a loser. I don't know why I mean, I understand why she's relating with Rachel, but the kids don't fuck with you because you cheated on their dad.
yes.
You nasty whore. Um,
Marge is being a big fat loser this season. She's being like really annoying.
I thought that the coffee reader, like, I feel like Jennifer was spilling tea to the coffee reader a little bit, as especially as we go forward. Did you have more notes after that, or was this pretty much it?
Just the last segment,
Okay, yeah. But yeah, I just feel like she was just spilling tea to the person, in my opinion, but I don't know.
like the day before.
Yeah. Or maybe even that hour. Like, because, like, why would she know about Laura? Why would like all of the things, it just feels like Jennifer
And
knows
she
everyone's
truly can.
storyline. You know, I feel like Jennifer knows everyone's storyline, so she told the person and was like, "Yeah, just figure out something that relates to these things. Thank you." That's what I feel like. I don't think Marge is wrong for feeling that way because it was that thing was that event was a shit show. Me, other than the setting. The setting was gorgeous.
Well, yeah, so then, okay, well, this is kind of how it comes up to be like kind of bullshit because when we go into the next scene, the coffee cup reader is talking about Jennifer and mentions the word endorsements. So then everyone's like, this is actually bullshit. Like, endorsements? What the fuck's she talking about? And then Marge says something so funny. She's like, the only thing you're gonna be endorsing is Charmin because you have 16 bathrooms and you're full of shit. Like that made me cry. I was like,
That
okay,
was a
Marge.
read.
I was like, Marge, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Negative 7 chops.
5 point, half a point, half. But yeah, that was hella funny. And then after like the whole endorsements thing, I was like, Jen, you're not doing yourself any favors. Like when you do stuff like this. Like if she didn't know you and if you guys hadn't talked about all this shit before, then that's very convenient that she would use the word endorsements. Like I was like, are you being serious? The reader starts talking about Danielle's brother and she says that there's pain on both sides. So like her brother's feeling pain and anger about this whole situation too, but she said that the anger from her brother will go away sometime and he'll let it go. And they'll reconnect sometime. And Neil starts crying, and Jackie's like, I really do hope that you guys do come together and like reconcile someday. And Danielle's like, do you? She's like 1,000% because I know what it's like to not talk to a sibling. But then Danielle uses this moment to kind of like confront them about talking about it and saying like, you know, I don't know what happened. I wish you guys would just stop talking about it. I think you and I can both respect that if we just like if she's asking now at this point like please stop talking about it, like I brought it up, whatever. I know she didn't say that, but like just saying like please stop talking about it because even Melissa's like I feel bad for her, like we keep bringing it up and obviously it's like a pain
It's
point for her.
triggering.
Like,
Yeah.
she's yeah, like she gets super upset
Yeah.
and that's not fun. So everyone's quiet, but then Danielle takes that from confronting like everyone about her brother to then confronting Rachel about Marge and saying that she feels like she got thrown on the bus. And Rachel's like, I literally don't give a fuck about this. And I was like, Rachel, she sounds like us. I would say some shit like that. Does she not? Like that's a very millennial thing to say. Don't give a fuck about this.
She's still, I don't feel like she's a millennial.
Yeah, no, I mean like they were going head to head about this. I feel like my note here is like Danielle is kind of like reaching about this. Like I truly do feel that Rachel didn't have any bad intentions about going to Marge. She was just giving the information to Marge. It wasn't necessary. It does look bad, but I don't think that was like her true intention because she likes Danielle and like they were friends and like now they're on each other's bad side. Because now Danielle's pissed, doesn't want to be her friend and like doesn't trust her. And then Rachel's saying, id gaff. I don't give a fuck. And so then that comes to the end of the episode. So what'd you think of that last part?
Like I was saying before, I felt like this coffee reading was
Weird.
bullshit. Like just such a hot ass mess. When Jackie says she hopes that she's able to talk to her, or Danielle's able to talk to her brother, I I really feel like she was being genuine in that moment. Um and I just I think it is okay to have questions about it, but obviously like it is triggering for her. So I'm happy that Melissa stepped in and was like, hey, just like let's like not talk about it. Let's table
Yeah.
this because this is obviously like triggering for Danielle. Because I'm not gonna lie, like if these bitches kept bringing it up, telling me my story was not true,
Like
I'd be
false.
pissed off too. I'd be
Yeah.
pretty pissed off too. But I wouldn't leave. I would talk to these bitches
But that she was getting
like the
but she felt
loser
bad
Danielle
about
was
that.
being.
She was like, I wish I didn't leave though. Like
But she did, and she did it twice because she's a fucking loser. Now, Melissa also clocked her too for not leaving. And
Yeah.
she was like, just don't leave again. And I was like,
Yeah.
thank you, Melissa. She's getting another -7 chops from me because she was kind of carrying this scene
Mm-hmm.
here a little bit. Rachel saying she doesn't care was so funny to me because also like you said, like it's just something that we would say too. But honestly, I understand where Danielle's coming from and her point in like I told you something in confidence and now you're running to someone to share it with them and
Yeah.
that's messy to me. But like you had said, I don't think she was trying to be malicious with this at all. I think Marge is her friend
Mm-hmm.
and she wanted to download Marge about what was being said. And yeah, but I probably, if something like this were to happen to me, I probably would not look at my friend the same way. Like if I told you something in confidence and then you went and told the person I was talking about what I was saying, I'd be like, wow, 7 chops, Asha, what the hell? Like why would you do that,
Yeah.
So I understand where Danielle is coming from. I just and I just also understand where Rachel's coming from. Um, I just wish that maybe Rachel would also be able to see, like, hey, like let's take a look back. Let's give some perspective here. Like, how would you feel if you
If
said
someone
something to
just
someone in
cheated.
confidence? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think she needs to take a look back here or take a step back here and have a little bit of perspective in that because Rachel and Danielle were kind of cute friends together. Like, I kind of liked
Really?
hating them both at the same time. And I have to
There's
hate them both separately. Another thought was like Teresa wasn't really in this episode, and that was interesting.
I feel like they
How do
still
you
did a good job though, even without her being there.
totally, yeah. And I hope this is not foreshadowing like what is to come in New Jersey. Like, are they trying to
Like
phase
push
Teresa
Teresa.
out?
Yeah.
And this was kind of like a
Teaser.
preview of
Mm-hmm.
like what that would look like
Mm.
with Rachel and Danielle kind of their shit or them. I feel like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And another thing is like I don't think Melissa was seething.
I feel like she was. I feel like
You thought
more
she
she
was?
was like she was mad, not mad that she wasn't asked to be a bridesmaid, but just like mad about the situation of like Teresa's literally doing everything she can to leave me out. Or
But it's like that is like crazy to me because she invited her to be a bridesmaid.
she did. And Melissa didn't want to be one because she was like, this is like a
Yeah.
half-ass invite. And at the
Yeah.
beginning of the season, yeah. At the mozzarella party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just feel like Melissa should have taken that olive branch back then and that would have never ruined their relationship. But maybe it would have, I don't know.
Yeah, because
But yeah.
even like on Watch What Happens Live, I think like last week, Dolores was on there. First of all, she
Mhm.
confirmed that she uses Ozempic. That's weird.
Okay, yeah. She's not gonna
Secondly,
be my daughter.
yeah, I don't what the hell? Like, what's wrong with you?
You're taking diabetes, like
There's
diabetic
people that
medication for
actually
people that
need
have
that. Like, what the
diabetes.
and you're just using it to lose weight. God,
And
I what's
Danielle
wrong
and
with you?
Dolores, you look good already.
I don't
Also, it's so inconsiderate for someone like Jackie to hear something like this, because Jackie is actually suffering from an eating disorder. And like to hear something like Dolores just said, like that, you're messed up for that.
you're messed up. And then secondly, they said that they just filmed the reunion.
They
Um,
did?
I think so. I feel like
No, they're working
they
on it. I
did.
don't think they haven't
Or
yet.
yeah, well, either they're working on it or something. I don't know. Dolores was just saying like, well, both Andy and Dolores were just saying that they think that the whole Melissa, Trey, Joe is just done. Like it's just over. So that raises a lot of questions for next season and what's gonna happen at the reunion.
Yeah. I hope they don't
Like,
fire Teresa.
why would they fire the OG? Like that
I
makes
don't
no
know.
sense.
I don't
Why would they
know.
fire her? There's been just so much shit too coming out about like how Melissa and Joe are scammers. Everyone on that cast are scammers, if we're being completely honest.
I mean, Teresa went to jail because
She was
she was a
scamming
scammer.
so badly. Like,
The
she
feds
needed to
got
go to jail.
involved.
Like, her ex got deported. He's not even allowed in this country. So,
Yeah, so mhm.
very big scam. Any more thoughts on this episode? Anything else you wanted to say?
um, it was cute. I know I had said that like I didn't have many thoughts, but I guess I did have some thoughts. Um, but yeah, it's just interesting to watch an episode without Teresa too much
Mm-hmm.
or too much of Teresa, and I hope that this isn't like a preview of what's to come because Teresa is our mother.
Yeah, I don't really like episodes without Teresa. Like, when she was, like, season 6, when she went to jail. It's like, this is so boring. And, and Dina was trying to carry it, but she couldn't. And I was like, I'm sorry, this is
Dina's too boring.
yeah. Dina's too normal.
Yeah,
She's not a housewife. She's just too normal.
yeah. They
Okay,
could bring Danielle back.
we don't need
Okay,
her
let me
back.
stop. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. But yeah,
She's too
I think
scary.
yeah.
Why would you even suggest something so scary and haunted like that?
Danielle's like honestly, I'm gonna be very honest with all of you. I feel like Danielle is like one of the best housewives ever. She's the reason why Teresa had her table flip moment.
True.
She's the reason why um what was that season that she came back in? She's the reason why Dolores has a job still. Remember the scumbag moment?
Season 8. Yeah.
And that was an iconic moment. Like she's done some really good things. She's the reason why Melissa has a job. Um, if you think about it, because she brought up her family tea on the show in the
Yes, that's true.
reunion. I'm gonna give her credit where it's due. Now, is she my favorite housewife? Hell no, but I could understand her impact. That's all I have to say about that.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us, for watching episode 9 of Real Housewives of New Jersey. We are going to be a little bit delayed in the next
Episode 10.
week. Yeah,
Yes.
episode 10. Because we're both going to Coachella. So we're gonna be having fun there. Um, and we'll be back the week after, maybe a couple days. Yeah, the week after. I forgot, yeah,
Mhm.
the week after. Um, with a new episode and then also recapping episode 11. So please stay tuned to that. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and connect with us on our socials. We'll be back
Yes.
for episode 10. So we'll see you soon.
Happy Easter. Bye.
Bye.